it's Woody Zoo here, and welcome to a new week. It's Monday, almost midday here for me. And yeah, I just wanted to talk a minute about Arena. So last night was my fourth attempt to get G1. Maybe a little naive first time went in. I kind of used an Arena offense as my Arena defense. I think I went Samath, Myho, Tiana, and I don't remember, maybe Belanus or something. But anyway, it was beat quite hard right at the end. And last week, the same thing happened when I tried to go a little bit more tanky. And I think I used Iris to try and divert a little bit of very tanky Iris, but again, it didn't work. So I dropped from rank like 125 down to about 550, and again, from rank about 200 down to 600 in that last 10 minutes, 2 weeks in a row. Not 2 weeks in a row, but for 2 weeks, about 3 weeks ago then last week. And so last week I decided to put all my time and effort into making a stall defence. So this is the defence in front of you that I use as stall defence. I kind of took old meta and put in a bit of new meta as well. So unless you're higher up, you probably don't understand the power of the Wind Monkey. So putting a Wind Monkey in an Arena defense who is tanky, it is going to give you a good chance of holding a half decent rank. The Wind Monkey has a 35% damage reduction. So for instance, if there's a Fat Lushan hitting 14-15k a card, you're going to take 35% of that off. So that 15k a card is going to go down to about 9k a card. So you make a monkey at 35,000 hit point, take the hit point lead on top of that, and then take your towers. If you're maxing your towers, to 20% on that, you can quite easily have a 40 to 45,000 monkey, which is not going to be Lushaned. And the same with Aerial. Aerial has just got to be pure hit point for this to work. And my Aerial comes in after all of now, because with the artifacts as well, and the hit point lead, etc., come in at about 51,000 hit points, and on double Nemesis. So obviously you are going to have one of the best Lushans in the server to get through 51,000 hit points. So he's going to cut in, he's going to raise attack bars, and he's going to survive it. And that's enough, and people high up probably won't risk that too much in the last 10 minutes. So what actually happened, if I take you off of this and go into my battle log, if I go into my profile, you will see, if I go to my records, I indeed did get my G1, which I'm really, really happy for. The slightly bitter note is that it did show me G2 when it had finished. I actually thought I'd skipped G1 and just got G2, but I have gone back onto my profile, and I actually finished rank 102. So I was 2 outside of that G2 finish in the end, but it did tell me G2. I was like, oh wow, even higher. But it's still an amazing rank. I'm very happy. Some of you guys still might know, most of you should know, I am 100% free to play and always have been. I've never pulled Light Dark Nat 5. In fact, I spent the first 3 years of this game with just 3 Nat 5s. That is true. At the end of 3 years of this game, literally 3 years of this game, I just had 3 Nat 5s. And then the game I started mass summoning, and I seem to have caught up a little bit with the monsters I pulled. What I do want to show you quickly is, if I go into my monsters, I will just show you quickly the stall defense I use. Now, if people say don't use Arena in a stall defense anymore, it's 2020. No, it can still work. It can still work. It's enough, especially if you've got your Myho as well. Just to put in there as your, hard to kill damage dealer. And of course, Monkey can also do the same. As you see here, she's in at 45,000 hit points for 100% resistance. I don't care about builds. I'll put whatever will work best in general. Here, she just was on a shield, endure, destroy, because it's just the best runes I could get. Hit point, and 2 hit point artifacts. So she was coming in well over 53,000 after the towers and the hit point lead, etc. Again, we have a double. This was important for a double Nemesis will. So you can't be reset as easily. obviously there's monsters that still can do it, and most importantly that he cuts in no matter what, hence double nemesis, not even one nemesis. Again, he is fast. I have him at 210, and I still kept all the hit point I could on top of that. So if I take you the ruins, for instance, he has a will ruin here. It's only a 5-star, but it's hit point 19 and defense 23. Then I had the hit point 63 of 20 speed on this nemesis, and this nemesis with 12 speed. And we had a nice wheel one here with 30 hit point and then 8 speed. Again, we've got 21 hit point with 13 speed and 13 hit point with another 1,000 hit points with 24 speed. So, it is a nice ruin set. It's a very solid ruin set, but it worked. One of the other things I want to show you is, I will show you the Wind Monkey quickly. Again, I use Vampire for mine, not Violent. Maybe Violent's best, I don't know. I do like mine on a Vampire build. And if you look at the info again, 35,000. You put all the towers and the lead on that, he was coming at like 43,000. Do it 210 speed. Packs a little bit of a punch. It's good enough. And again, he was speed, critical damage, hit point. And again, he's got hit point everywhere in all these ruins. I'm focusing on hit point and defense, so he's just solid. There he was, 1,200 defense and over 40,000 hit points with leads. Now, on a side note, or on a note, that what I want to do with my Myho is make sure, because when I arena offense, which I'll talk about in a second, I kill Myhos with Raki, but we'll come back to that. But what I wanted is for Myho to be hard to defeat. So here she is. She's not actually on Vampire. She is just on Fatal Nemesis. I still like Nemesis because of extra speed to get her goes, and actually her ruins have life, her artifacts have a bit of life drain in them. This one here has a life drain 5, and then here we've got our skill 2 recovery of 8%, so she's healing up more anyway. But as you see here, I've got her in at 27 and 27.7 thousand hit point. So she's hard to one-shoot her. You obviously put all the towers and that on top of it, and the hit point lead from the Wind Monkey, she was coming in at about 33,000, which then becomes hard unless you've got a defense break on her and an attack buff to do the damage to kill her in one shot if you don't crit or if you use Iraqi. So that held quite nice. If we look at the battle log, it's hard because it all says 5 hours ago, but if you look, this is where it would have started. Again, there is a success in there and a success in there. The team I used up until the last 15 minutes, which would have got a couple of successes, would have been, I was using, not free to play, but luckily I've pulled some decent units, but I was using Vanessa, Myho, and Clara was a difference maker. I was using Clara and Belarus. So my Clara was pretty fast, way up in the 290s. So we were using that, and that was trying to deter Luscians and Zaruses, which are my two biggest things I was trying to do. I was trying to deter Luscians and Zaruses because that's the two quickest and easiest ways to get nukes. So when you are trying to get high range, remember, the number one thing, and people say it over and over again, is not to be Luscianed. And that is your biggest thing. Do not be Luscian. Do not get Luscian. Now, I'll quickly show you, I'll just click on anything, and I'll show you my offences. Now, the two offences I used mainly is you have this one, which is your super speed one, which is Kabila is completely anti-Triton. So you need Kabila if you've got one made fast, you can, because there's so many Tritons on defence. And then you have your Fat Luscian with economy. Some people use a Teon. This is a very common team. It works very nicely, and that is your that is your main arena offense. Again, the other one I was lucky enough, is that I have Iraqi and Azaros. So I was also using this team. I'll just show you my Iraqi, because my Iraqi is very strong. She's fully skilled up, and she's one of the best units in the game at the moment. She's so anti-meta, anti-Tyrannus, anti-Raki, anti-Tiana, anti-Perna, anti-Myho. So as you see here, she's got plus 1,558 attack. You need that at least 1,300 plus to get them nice solid hits. 100% crit rate, unfortunately, it's almost a must, because as you know, everything crits on Myho, unless you want it to crit on Myho. So Raki's the one once you want to crit on a Myho. You put 90% crit rate on, unless you'll miss a bloody crit on Myho, then you'll go and have a monster with 30% crit rate, and it won't stop critting the Myho. It's just, it feels so broke, doesn't it? But yeah, as soon I did change her, she had like 1800 plus 1800 attack, but I took it down to plus 1500, and yeah, that's, and put the 100% crit rate rather than about the 80% she had, and that was all I needed. The success rate of my offense become 10 times fold because I didn't have to worry about her missing, and that's very important. So they're the two main offenses I use, and they worked. And you just got to refresh your lists, keep refreshing your lists, and sort of, you know, find them teams that them two offences can beat, and that's kind of the way of doing it. Took me a while to get into it, but I'm really happy. I got the G1, so I'm 100% free to play in the game. Always have been. I've grinded all my ruins from day one, and yeah, I've got a G1 arena team now. So yeah, I'm really happy. Thanks to support for a lot of guys that helped me out, and sort of big shout out to Vic, because we sort of talked about offences and defences, because he's been there before me. It took him quite a while to get G1 when he originally started trying, and he actually got Tiana, and then he got his G1. But for us, it wasn't about. For me, it wasn't about getting G1 offensively. So I already had all the monsters. And, you know, I'm quite good at. I've really got practically a G2 offense. It was just my getting a defense together that was going to hold G1, and Clara held it well throughout the beginning of the rush to just be changed to this stall in the last 10-15 minutes, and it works an absolute treat. So I'm really happy, and yeah, I'm going to make some content this week. We've got Siege coming up, and might do a guild and a bit of RTA. Might try and start pushing forward in RTA as well to get a better rank in that, because I've always been pretty lazy in my RTA. But yeah, I'm well happy. Thanks for the support, guys. Keep supporting me and subscribing and helping, and we'll get some more content out. I'll see you real soon, all right? Woody out.